Hi, today is February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day. It's time for the Chair's Daily Live. I had to get that out of the way. Happy Valentine's Day. But more importantly, it's election day. So if you live in a county or a community that has an election and you haven't voted, stop watching me. I'm going to say some profound stuff, but more importantly, I want you to go cast your ballot. Today is today is election day in a lot of counties and communities, school boards, city council, county clerk, all over the state. Go vote, go vote, go vote. You have 2 hours and 43 minutes left in this day to go vote. Please go cast your vote. All righty. So I've done my bit. Go vote. So it's Valentine's Day. Now, to talk about what I plan to talk about today. So when people talk about politics and they talk about voting and they talk about, what's important, here's the thing that cynics say. It's a numbers game. So I'm going to say something kind of crazy because I don't consider myself to be a cynic, but it is. It is a numbers game. Previously I talked about the fact that there are 3.9 Oklahoman folks in the state of Oklahoma. That's how many, according to the last census, that's how many people are in the state of Oklahoma, 3.9 million folks. And of that 3.9 million folks, 3 million are eligible to register to vote. That means they're over the age of 18. They are not currently under a felony conviction and they're citizens of the United States. That's 3 million out of the about 4 million citizens that we have. And of those 3 million who are eligible to be registered to vote, about 2 million are registered to vote. And of that 2 million, about 1 million actually cast their vote in the big elections. The number goes way down for city council, school board, court clerk. So let's start now changing that number, right? In November, only 50.3%, so slightly over half of the people who are registered to vote, or the 1 million that I said, actually showed up and cast their vote. So in this school board, city council, county clerk election, let's take our number up because really in these elections, it's something like 20% of registered voters actually participate. And these elections affect your home. The people who are closest to the problem, the people who are closest to where you live, affect your life the most. And these are the kinds of elections that get ignored. So go out to the Oklahoma State Election Board, verify that you don't have an election, but if you do, please show up and vote. Okay, so that's my big pitch, and that's my pitch about numbers. So I told you about who votes. Now let's talk about what our legislature focuses on. You would think it would be the biggest problems, right? Because that's who makes the laws, that's who carries the bills, that's who determines what we as a state focuses on. Our state legislature. They're the ones who vote on the budget. They're the ones who carry the bills, our state legislature. So they should be focused on the big things. So be ready, get out your pen and paper, because I have something I want to share with you. I'm going to put out a call to action. So in September of 2022, Oklahoma ranked number 51 of best places to live for women. That's based on salary, based on education, based on opportunity. Oklahoma was number 51. Keep in mind, there are 50 states, but I guess they threw in DC to make sure that we fell all the way to the bottom. We are dead last. We're number 51. Yet, someone introduced into our legislature a bill to reduce a little known commission. There's a commission called the Commission on the Status of Women. Commission on the Status of Women, who are there to research women's issues, they have trainings on how women can get ahead, how women can get on boards, and they actually confer with the governor. They make recommendations to the governor, and a lot of them are governor appointed. Well, a legislator put forth a bill that's going to be heard in this session to reduce the number of board members on that board from 30 down to 13. We are number 51 in places to live for Oklahoma, and our response is to end the Commission on the Status of Women, or to reduce it, to minimize its importance. Do the numbers matter? I ask you. Oklahoma is fifth highest in sales tax. And the bills that are being put forth are about moving most of our taxes away from like state tax, all that, over to sales tax. They're calling it usury tax. They're calling it a tax where you only get taxed if you use it. But here's the problem. Most of us have to buy stuff just to exist. We have to buy stuff. And so the tax burden won't be kind of equally distributed, but it'll be heavier. And the less financially well situated you are, the harder it's going to be for you to buy stuff. Is our legislator focusing on the right things? So yesterday I talked about the trans bills, the many trans bills. There's something like 16 trans bills that are going to be heard, that have been presented to be heard in this cycle. 16 bills dealing with transgender individuals, mostly transgender ban bills. 16. There are 3.9 million Oklahomans, right? We already talked about that. The stats for like America is that there are 0.6 of the population identifies as transgender or non-binary. That's combined. 0.6, less than 1%. Yet we're devoting 16 bills to this non-problem. 16 bills devoted to 0.6 of the population. And of that 0.6, most of them are adults, right? Just because of the way the numbers work. Most of them are adults. So we're dedicating 16 bills to, it's something less than 0.6 children, transgender children. Doesn't quite seem like it's all in the numbers, right? Meanwhile, there are 100,000 or 2.5% of Oklahomans who are still dealing with unclean water. 2.5% of Oklahomans who do not have clean drinking water. And I guess that number is not big enough for us to focus on clean drinking water. They're not, it doesn't seem to matter what's the most important, what's the most pressing, because they're just picking up the bills that'll get them on TV the most. They're picking up the bills that'll get the most traction. We're not dealing with, I don't even know what the number is, the over 600,000 students we have in public schools. We're not trying to fix that. We're focused on 2,400 Oklahomans. Those are the folks who identify as transgender. I'm begging you, call your legislators. Ask them to please focus on actual problems and actual solutions, or actual solutions to actual problems, and stop making up problems to be mad about. Call your legislators. Ask them not to reduce the number of commissioners on the Commission on the Status of Women. Ask them to please focus on the issues that Oklahomans care about. Throw out another number. Today's just full of numbers. 80% of Oklahoma parents say they're against vouchers. Yet millions of dollars of ad time and talk time, and they're serving up to me, and I don't have kids, on my social media trying to convince Oklahomans that vouchers are the right thing. 80% of parents who have been inundated with voucher information are saying that they're against it. But our legislature is still trying to push through vouchers. Maybe not our legislature, but our governor and our superintendent of public instruction. Because there are members of our legislature who said, yeah, we're not taking that up because it's not the most important thing, or it's not the right solution for all of Oklahoma. Let's hope that they focus more of that. When we're talking about all these anti-trans bills, I hope that someone steps up and says, you know what, we're not focusing on that, because it's not, whatever made up solutions we're coming up with aren't helping the most amount of people that we can help. And that's what the job of our legislature is to help the most amount of Oklahomans that they can help in the time that they're in session. All righty, so today was full of numbers. This will be out on YouTube. You can watch it and follow up with the numbers. Please call your legislator. Please call your legislator, your House person, your Senate person, or both. Ask them not to reduce the number of women on the Commission on the Status of Women, and ask them to please focus on issues that Oklahomans care about. And if you haven't voted, please go vote. You have 2 hours and 33 minutes. All right, you guys have a great Valentine's Day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow at 4:15.